What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Pappy here at West Georgia Rods and Customs. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to show y'all another installment today of this particular car. This is going to be my drag theme for the Acme Southern Nationals coming up in October. The two themes that we have 100 years of Mopar for our show theme, and as well as drag cars. I've already completed the USAC bill, which is the 68 Dodge Dart. We finished that up a couple weeks ago, and after doing that, I was like, you know what, I need a good relaxing, just a box stock build. And is this one box stock? Not really, but it's close to it. But I really just wanted something where I could just drop out of the box and just complete in a few weeks, just to kind of cool my jets on all the modifications, the modifying whole thing. So this was a great kit to do. I've had this kit in my stash for a while. I was always a fan of the Reher Morrison racing team, especially when with Lee Shepard driving. So I decided to go ahead, get this kit out of the box, get it started for the theme bill for the show in October. So previously, as y'all had seen, I had showed y'all earlier how to lay out the stripes anytime you're doing a car with two colors. How I like to tape off everything, products that I use. I've already went and sprayed the clear on this. This is we did I think this is X7 down here, which is the Tamiya red, and we did pure white right here on this end, up here on the top. That is a X2, X2. Had to look at the bottle. And we've already done a lot of detail painting also. As far as inside, we painted that we just left that black primer is what we did. And we left this black primer up here. And as right in here, I have already taped that off, and we just used NATO black for the headlight buckets and stuff. I've already done some of the decals. Wanted to show y'all. It's not really necessary that you do your decals then spray the clear over that, because you never know how the clear is going to react over the decals. I mean, they could wrinkle craze, and if that's the only set you got, that came with the kit. There's other avenues now if that was to happen, but when that does happen, you have to strip the entire body and order a new set, which usually you can go to STS Decals, and as long as you have got a copy of them, you can send it to them, and they can reprint you some. Or you can go back to the manufacturer, which is Revel, and ask if they have any more. 9 times out of 10, you can go to aftermarket decal places, and they have these already available. So these are the original kit decals. They were in excellent shape. But I've already, as I stated earlier, I showed you how I like to lay these stripes off once we spray it. And I've went over the body with I think 5 coats of 2K clear, and this thing is just shiny. Trust me. I want to show y'all how I like to apply decals and the method that I like to use. And as long as you apply decals, correctly, which I'm not saying my method's correctly, but I have followed a lot of other people's advice about installing decals. One thing that I follow to a T is the products used, and the method I'm gonna show y'all is tried, true, and it works for me every time. It's worked for several other YouTube content creators. The fellow that really taught me or told me how to do this is Old Tom, Rambler 69. If y'all aren't subscribed to Tom, go over there to Rambler 69 to his channel, and I'm sure he has a tutorial on it. I believe he has, and that's probably where I learned how to do it years ago. But just a great, he is a plethora, just a walking encyclopedia of things to do. So I'm gonna pass along this information to y'all that are either, if you're not subscribed to Tom, please go by there and do, and we'll get started on this right here. And you see what I've been doing right here. I take this is a really soft cotton cotton cloth here. It's really just no t-shirt. And I'm cleaning that off of anything that could be, greasy, things like that. And I always like to keep a little block here handy. That way I can kind of prop it up. First thing we do is I get some fresh, warm water. Tom years ago told me to use I think ionized water. You can buy it you can buy that out in the supermarket and stuff. But really, I just use good, clean, warm tap water. One of the other things you're going to need is a set of microset and microsaw, which we have over here to the left. Some cotton buds, which I use a lot of. Keep them over here handy. Keep a couple of the Tamiya cotton buds here as well, just in case if I need to push them around into a corner or a crease. What else we got? Good nice set of tweezers and a good soft brush. And that's what I use to apply the microset and microsaw with. Okay. Previously off camera, I went ahead, I cut all the decals out. That way I'm not cutting decals while I'm trying to apply them. Went ahead, cut out the strips, and first thing I do is also that we're going to need is, I like to use little paper towels cut up in strips right here. And let's get started. I'm going to show y'all how to put this first one on right here. Take that, we're going to drop it over into the water. Take my brush. The first thing I use is micro set. And we dip that in there, and I'm going to brush that right where I want that decal. Now, when I say microset, that's the blue bottle. That's the first thing I put on. This is a good flat surface, so we're not going to really use a lot of microsaw, which I'll explain that here just in a minute. Now, you've seen how fast I put that decal in there before I applied this right here. Is the decal ready to come out? Yeah. I take it, drop it on a paper towel like that. And let me look at the first one. Yep, blue's up, white's down. There's a certain way this decal needs to be oriented. And I'm going to probably get my big hands in the way. But what the heck? We're going to put that thing on there. Look at that. See, I just throw it on there. But we'll get it ironed out right here. Come on. You can always take your brush and maneuver these things how you want them. Okay, now we're going to get off camera a minute. And now we're going to straighten this out. I like to take my finger, just kind of straighten it out. I like to look down it, see if it's really good and straight, which it's not. Now I can kind of start taking this, and the more you kind of massage the decal out, let me get that out of the way, the straighter it's going to be. And all I'm doing is separating the white and the red line, and that creates just a beautiful little border. I'm going to pull a little bit down here. I'm sure these decals, I'm amazed. These are old decals, and they're not brittle. I'm actually amazed that they're not. If they were, I would have ordered a newer set through another manufacturer. Now, another thing I like to do is I like to look down it, and what I'm doing is I'm looking down the center of that, making sure I'm right in the center of the body or the color line, and I am. I'm even from bottom to top. And now I'm ready to, the next thing I like to do is I like to take another dip of the micro set, and I'm going to brush that on. Now that just pretty much just sets that decal in place. And also what it does, it helps with the adhesion of the decal to the surface of the clear. Another thing is having a good smooth top or a good smooth surface for that decal to really bite into. And that microset, that's what helps it bite into that smooth surface. Now, when I say bite, it's not really, creating a problem with the paint or anything. It's just biting into the surface itself. That way it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, now I have let that, I'm going to start. And now one of the things I like to do with the paper towels is I like to wick up the excess of the microset and just touch it. That's all you got to do. And you'll see that stuff just start to wick into the paper towel. Don't move the decal. Now you can kind of take and feather it down through there. All right, now that we've done that, we got the edge, this little raw edge right here. And all I do is I just kind of touch a little bit of microset to it, put a little bit on top of that right there. I take my finger, not to move the entire decal, and just kind of hold it. That microset will also kind of soften the decal. So you have to kind of treat these decals with kid gloves. See, now I just moved it right there. But no harm, no foul. Just take your brush, feather that back out. Now, what I really want to do is set that decal. I'm just going to push down on it and kind of brush it out. We're going to take that lip and then we're going to fold it back around inside the fender well where it's never seen. Unless you're a nosy judge at a show that likes to pick up models. That's another topic. We're not going to get into that today, Peppy. Okay, now that we've done that edge, let's go over here. We're going to do the same thing. Excuse the big old hand in the camera. We're going to touch that right there and do the same thing. We're just going to we're going to fold that edge over. And we're going to bring it on in on the inside. Then I'll take take that cloth, wick any of the excess up, and just touch down on top. Just kind of, now I'm going to clean my brush out of the excess. And I'm going to take and just push any of the excess out. Now that we've done that, if you look, that's a great, nice straight line separating the red and the white. We're going to pull that back down in here. I like to kind of just push those corners back down in there. That way they're not going anywhere. And voila, you got a nice decal separating that color. Now what I'll do is I'll take a dab of the micro saw, and this is the stuff that sets this. It does set the decal onto the surface itself. It helps in the adhesion as well. This is the micro saw is the last stuff that I'll apply on here. Touch it over there in the corners like that. Now I'll take this. See, I just wicked how quick that wicks up, and then I'm gonna let that sit there. Now what that does, it kind of it softens that decal, and it helps it conform to irregular surfaces as far as the contours of a car. I'll use it really excessive right in here. That way it really wraps around that curve of the front fender right there. But we're not going to do that one right now. Now, while we're letting that, we're going to let that dry for a few minutes. Now I'll take and clean out my, get all the excess liquid out of my brush here. I always like to have a nice supply of these little small. I cut the paper towels out before I even start on a build. So, all right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply some of these contingency decals down here. Earlier I talked about cutting all the decals out. I like to cut them out. That way I can kind of just earlier, before I even start a build or start putting the decals on, I always trim them out, and always that way. All I got to do is just grab them and go. Here's the bottom contingency decals. I always pay attention. Look at your decal sheet the way it's supposed. When you're, how the company or how the manufacturer shows you on the very back. Usually, it's the very back instructions. Shows you how they're numbered, and then where the numbered decal orients on the positioning of the car. Okay, now we're going to prop that up on a bigger. Let's set this stuff over here because I'm right-handed. Okay, let me drop these over into the water. Need a little bit more water. Don't even fall down in there. Okay, now we're going to brush that microset. Microset's always the first thing. It ain't gonna hurt if you get it up here on the one that you've already done. Now we use a pretty good liberal amount of microset when we're using it. Another thing, if you seen a little bit earlier, I've got one of these. Let me kind of show you. One of these little handy stands that you put your microsol in. This prevents you from tipping it over. If you can find you some at a show, please do. Please grab one because it is very. You can tip these things over, and I have in the past. But I found one of these at the show I was at yesterday, and I was very happy to pay the money for it. $5, you can't beat it. Help these guys out that do the printing of all these great tools. My friend Ryan prints these out. I've got that, and I got a Tamiya glue stand over here as well that I use a lot that he printed. All right, that's about all I need for that. Okay, we've already got that first layer out. Let me get that. I forgot to cut that number off there, but I don't want that number on the car. Okay, now let's push that to the side. Grab the body, push that out of the way. Drop the body. Now, all I do is when I transfer you've seen how haphazardly I did the stripe right there just a minute ago. That's really the easy or the quick way I like to do a stripe. It's kind of hard for old big finger me to do that. Now, I feel like I'm doing this off camera. All right, now let's start pushing, getting this into position. And really, all I'm doing is getting everything down through here level, even down there at the surface. That's why in the video I showed you on the layout, making a copy of these decals before you start painting, and then cutting that out. That helps figure out how much is needed down through there. Okay, here we go back with the microset. Do a nice little even coat all the way across that. Now, you remember earlier I did the microsaw up here to kind of make that decal set. I'm going to show you a handy little trick. That's already dried up through there on that. You might see a little edge wrinkling right here on where I put the microsaw. You can take and smooth. You can smooth that line out just like that with that soft bristle brush. Another thing that you can do, take these cotton buds, better known as Q-tips or what have you. Here's another little method, another little trick I like to do. Let me get that out of the way. I like to take these Q-tips and just kind of roll them down through there. And that helps it conform to the contour of the surfaces. Bring that down right there. Yeah, that's good and straight. You can actually take these Q-tips You can kind of lightly drag them, but if you take them and you roll them just like that, that helps them to conform as well. And that's pushing out any of the excess solution, as far as the microset solution, out from under the decal. You can do that same thing down that separation of the. That's why I like these longer. See how you can put them in your hand fully better than you can a small cosmetic type Q-tip. Okay, now you got that in there. Got all that done. I just like to take that paper towel and just kind of lightly drag that down through there. Now there's a body contour down through here where the door line separates. You can take your fingernail, just kind of lightly drag down through there with that, and that pushes that down into there. All right, now we're ready to use the micro saw. I just take and run that good steady supply of that stuff down through there, just like that. And now we got another set of decals on. Turning out pretty good. Our last set of the decals that'll be going on there are there's another set right here that goes down here in the bottom. We've also got the Reher Morrison sponsor decal on the door right here. That'll be going there as well. But can't stress how highly it is to just be patient. Take your time when you're doing these. Use these products, the microset first, the microsaw last on this. Use the supplies that I'm showing you right here. Just warm water, warm tap water works perfectly. And using what I'm showing you right here and the techniques that I'm talking about right here, you'll have a successful decal job every time, and it'll look like they're either painted on. You won't even see the border. You won't even see the edge line of where the edge of the decal is at. And you will not have to using this. It's tried and true, guys. It's Old Tom Rambler 69. Again, I can't stress, if y'all aren't subscribed to him, get over there, watch all his tutorials that he shows you. Awesome content creator, awesome builder. I'll drop a link down below to Tom's channel if you are not subscribed to him. Again, I can't believe you're not subscribed to Tom. But great content creator, great builder, great friend to myself and to everyone out there in the YouTube modeling community. Hope this tutorial helps everybody out. I'll keep everybody tell y'all what I got going on this thing next in the next video. So, as I always say, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Happy out of here.